The brain changes as we age, and a normal part of that is becoming more forgetful. Losing your car keys or forgetting your in-laws' birthdays are examples. In fact, by age 40, our ability to solve problems in a novel way starts to decline. There's no way you can stop time, but you can improve the standard of your lifestyle within the time you have by keeping your mind sharp as a strong man and try improving your memory all the time. Your overall intelligence has to be fairly well established before you ever use it. Various studies suggest that your diet as an infant, education, vaccinations, and so on contribute to your eventual smartness as an adult. But just as you work in the gym and substitute your diet to overcome bad physical genetics, you can train your mind to exceed its intellectual potential. So, what are the strategies for being a man with a sharp mind? We will discuss this in a moment. Number 1. Keep learning. A high level of education is connected with better mental functioning in old age. Experts think advanced education may help keep memory strong by getting a person into active mental habits. Challenging your brain with mental exercise is believed to turn on processes that help support individual brain cells and stimulate transmission among them. Many people have occupations that keep them mentally active. Chasing a hobby, learning a new skill, or mentoring are also supplementary ways to keep your mind sharp. You must learn a new skill if you want a sharper mind, because when you leave your comfort zone and do something new, your brain creates new neurons. It doesn't matter which skills you are planning to take up, whether it be painting, knitting, carpentry, etc. Your brain will become better at learning new things. When a study team at McGill University in Montreal enrolled a group of 30 men in tango lessons and tested their cognitive functions periodically, they found that after 10 weeks of classes, just learning a new dance had helped them to score better on memory tests individually. Number 2. Always believe in yourself. If you need a sharper mind, you have to believe in yourself, which means having confidence in your abilities. It means being able to believe in yourself to do what you say you want and will do. Myths that aging can contribute to a failing memory are just partial truths. Although middle-aged and older learners do worse on memory tasks when exposed to negative stereotypes about aging and memory, they do better when the messages are positive about memory protection in old age. People who believe they are not in control of their memory function, they are less likely to work at keeping or improving their memory skills, and therefore are more likely to go through cognitive decline. If you believe you can improve and translate that trust into practice, you have a better probability of keeping your mind sharp. As we said earlier, believing in yourself isn't good for your overall well-being. It can also be crucial in how well your brain performs in different settings. When researchers from the University of Pennsylvania analyzed the relationship between test takers' motivation level and the performance on an IQ test, they found that those who scored the best on the tests tended to have the most positive attitudes. Another research conducted at the Columbia and Stanford universities supports the finding. In this trial, researchers found that teenagers with the most self-confidence had the most success doing so, consistently outperforming their peers and improving their test scores throughout the 2-year study. Number 3. Use all of your senses. The more senses you use in learning something, the more your brain will retain the memory. In research, a team showed adults a series of emotionally neutral images that came along with some odor. They then were asked to remember what they saw. Later, the team showed them the images, this time without any odor. Then they were asked to indicate what they had seen before. They had a superb recall for all the odor-paired pictures, especially those associated with pleasant smells. This study showed that brain imaging indicates that the piriform cortex, the main odor processing part of the brain, became active when people perceived objects initially paired with odors, even though the smells were no longer present. The subjects hadn't tried to remember them. Challenge all your senses as you venture into the unfamiliar so as to have a sharp mind. Number 4. Take up cognitive training exercises. Your brain will stay sharp when the plasticity of the brain is maintained. Plasticity of the brain means the brain's ability to constantly change throughout a person's lifetime. And this plasticity can be maintained and improved by engaging in cognitive training exercises that challenge your intellectual capacity. You can play chess, juggle, or learn a new language. Playing board games can also stimulate your thinking, as well as your hand-eye coordination. You can even do something simple like learning new roads to get to your place of work, or typing with the opposite hand. or combining your senses by eating while listening to music with your eyes closed. Number 5. Practice deep listening. You should know that anytime you are engaged in activities that need communication, your neurons need to fire, and synapses need to work. Injury to the brain and even too much stress can pose a challenge to this communication highway and make listening, speaking, understanding signals, and combining information more complex. Just like a meditation practice can lessen the trigger of the stress response and, therefore, quieten the mind. You may want to get into the practice of regularly silencing the mind so that the neurons can communicate. This practice is called deep listening, where you allow yourself to pause and take a deep breath. This act provides you with the space to hear words and take in the nuances fully. In this practice, you shouldn't rush when communicating. Wait, take a pause, then breathe. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. This process will allow the mind to quiet. After this, try listening with your heart. Notice how words make you feel. Try to engage all of your senses, then write down your thoughts. If you feel emotionally high, you may want to jot down your feelings to help you gain clarity before you speak out. You can also find a safe place to talk. You can choose a friend, counselor, or a therapist you know you can safely speak to without worrying about being judged. This act will give you inner peace, making your mind sharper. Number 6. Hit the gym regularly. The phrase "use it or lose it" doesn't apply only to your muscles. It applies to other parts of your body. Living an active lifestyle helps keep the tissues in your brain as young and active as those throughout the rest of your body. Regular physical activity seems to help slow or even reserve the brain's physical decay over time. Researchers at the University of Illinois have proven exercise's prowess at keeping the brain healthy. In studies on mice, they found that regardless of whether the animals ate a super wealthy diet or traditional mouse food, had cages filled with toys and games, or were kept in a stimulation-free environment, the one factor most responsible for improving their memory and performance cognitive tests was a running wheel. Mice who ran ended up simply being smarter than those who didn't. Although we are humans, exercising ourselves helps remove stress in some ways, thereby creating a peace of mind. Thanks for watching the video. We hope you found the information helpful and gave you some insight into what it takes to be a man with the sharpest mind. Remember, being a sharp-minded man is not about being the most intelligent or cunning, but about having peace of mind, being confident, and using your senses wisely. By the way, remember to show some love. Tap that subscribe button and hit like for the algorithm. Watch these videos to see the next best way to level up as a man.